Jumping out to an early lead.
Here comes a reverse. It'll be a pass. Walker fires, has a receiver. It's Grasso at the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, New York.
But the bigger and faster boys from the Garden State came back to win behind the MVP performance of Eric McCoo.
Okay, here's the run up the middle. Doesn't matter because it's a touchdown.
New York's been working hard in practice this week to even up the series at 1, while the proud football state of New Jersey tries to flex its muscles once again. The second annual Governor's Bowl is next.
Welcome to the 1999 Governor's Bowl Football Classic from Rutgers Stadium on the campus of Rutgers University in Piscataway, New Jersey. It's the finest high school football all-stars from the states of New York against New Jersey. Hello again, everyone. I'm Lou Brogno from Cablevision Sports. Glad you could join us here on this very lovely July evening for high school football to see some of the best football players from both the Garden and Empire States. I am joined on the call of tonight's game by MSG Network's Mike Quick. And Mike, as you take a look at the rosters of these two teams, you can't help but be impressed.
Oh, Lou, you're talking about 50 guys from the state of New Jersey, 39 of which will have Division I scholarships. And we're not talking 1AA, we're talking the big-time stuff. In New York, you have 54 guys invited to this game, 15 with the big Division I scholarship. Yeah, there's a lot of talent here.
Let's talk about last year's game a little bit, a 36-20 game. Last year, you predicted a big lopsided game. Didn't turn out that way.
You know, last year I was saying New Jersey's going to come out and whack them. They're going to win by 3 touchdowns. Well, I looked like a fool early on. If we take a look at those highlights from a year ago, New York comes out, they jump up 6-0, they jump up 12-0, and before you know it, New Jersey's thinking, wow, we got ourselves a ball game. And then this was right before the half. Things were tied at 14, and then they go deep to Marquise Walker, who's at Michigan now. He's out of Syracuse Henninger High School. Sensational player, was all over the field, the MVP. And so was that guy. Eric McCoo, who's now off at Penn State and had himself just a sensational freshman season. He, of course, hails from Red Bank Regional High School, right down here in the area of Rutgers University. So you see right there, 2 guys from this game a year ago who have already made a major impact on the college level.
We have our share of stars in this year's version of the All-Star Classic as well. Let's start with the New Jersey club, one of the outstanding running backs not only in the state, but in the East, Greg Toll.
No question about it. And Greg Toll comes from a football family. His dad, Greg Toll Sr., he's been a high school football coach and a player his whole life, and he taught number 1 Greg Toll some of his moves. This was a kid who had 224 points this year, led the state in scoring, and he's the state's second all-time leading career scorer with 584 career points. Headed off to Boston College next year. Greg Toll's a big-time back.
Well, Greg Toll has a very large and talented offensive line with which to run behind tonight.
Yeah, that's an offensive line, Lou, that goes across 283 across the front. But one of the guys he's so fired up to get in there behind is Bernie Fiddler from Kingsway High School. He's 6'2", 220 pounds. He's going to Maryland next year. Greg wants to get right in there behind him, and off he goes.
All right, and one of the outstanding tight ends in the Northeast as well, Frank Miserelli of Lenape Valley. He'll be in there as well. But now we're looking at the New York squad, Eric Hatkowitz.
Eric Hatkowitz comes up big in big games. In the Long Island Championship last year, his team scored 22 points. He had all 22. This is a guy that doesn't allow points. Clifton Smith, the Thorpe Award winner from Freeport High School out on Long Island. Best player in the state of New York, headed off to Syracuse next year. Could make an impact right away as a freshman at linebacker.
All right, more talent on that New York squad. A guy that likes to hit and also hit people when he carries the ball, Matt Zielinski.
Zielinski out of Clarence High School up there near Buffalo. He'll play for Duke next year. We'll go 2 ways in this game. Clifton Smith will get a little time on both sides of the ball. And Willie Poole out of Christ the King, one of the best athletes on the field today. If New York is going to be in this game, they got to get the kid from Middle Village, Queens, New York, the football. He'll play wide out. You got to get him involved.
All right, the scene is set for what should be a very entertaining football game. When we come back from the break, you'll hear from the 3rd and 4th members of our broadcast team, Gene Golda and Jimmy Cavallo. They'll talk to the head coaches of New York and New Jersey. You're watching the 1999 Governor's Bowl.
The Center for Orthopedics and Sports Medicine proudly serves as the official team physicians for the Governor's Bowl in support of the March of Dimes. Providing optimal orthopedic care with today's most advanced techniques, our board-certified fellowship-trained physicians care for patients of all ages. Let the Center for Orthopedics and Sports Medicine get you back in the game. Call 732-505-8844. Doctors Fox and Dolly Carr are members of the medical staff of Community Medical Center, an affiliate of the St. Barnabas Healthcare System, a proud sponsor of this year's Governor's Bowl.
That little voice in your head makes you feel guilty for having too much of a good thing. Yeah, we don't either.
Outback Steakhouse, no rules, just right.
Outback Steakhouse, no rules, just right.
Go to the beach without getting sand in your shorts with New Jersey Online's beach cams. Check them out at nj.com.
Without proper planning, over 2/3 of your estate could go to the government. Where do you want your money to go? Your spouse? Your children? Uncle Sam? At Solomon Smith Barney, we can help you keep more of your money where it belongs, in your family. Call for our free special report. In it, you'll find 10 strategies to help preserve the wealth you've worked all your life to acquire. You'll discover why the stock market gains of the 90s make it important to consider estate planning now. How recent tax laws will help you shelter up to $1 million by the year 2006. Why it may pay to retitle your assets. And whether you should own life insurance in your own name. It's all here in this special report. Call 1-800-EARNS-IT, extension 9001. It's free, it's insightful, and it can help protect the people you care about most. Call now. Let's get to work. Solomon Smith Barney.
Rutgers Stadium, Governor's Bowl. I'm with Joe Sipp, the head coach of Bellport High School, one of the co-head coaches, along with Buddy Kromenacher of Farmingdale High School of this New York State team. And Joe, I know the rivalry is young. It's only 2 years old, and I know you and the team doesn't want it to go 0-2 for New York.
No, we're, we're probably the underdogs, but we're going to go out there and do the best that we can. I think if we can keep the ball, possess it a little bit, keep it out of their hands, we'll have a shot.
It's been a short work week. You started practice on Tuesday. What are some of the strengths and weaknesses of the team?
Well, we got some good kids. I mean, make no mistake about it. They may have more Division 1A players, but we got some 1A players too, and there's only 11 on the field at one time. Like I said, we're going to try to pound them a little bit if we can. Try to get a little physical up front, control the ball. They have two good linebackers. I think that, if they can be on their game, the big thing, we're going to have control of their speed, and I think their defensive backs are exceptional, so, hopefully we can move the ball a little bit on them too.
Well, good luck to you and your team in this one. Now we're going to go over to the New Jersey side, and our sideline reporter, Jimmy Gavallo, who's with Mike Niello. Jimmy?
All right, Gino, thanks a lot. I am standing by Mike Niello, head coach of Ramapo High School, and one of the guys in charge on the Jersey sidelines. And Mike, first thing that jumps out, 39 Division I scholarship guys on this squad. I mean, just try and get everybody involved, huh, Coach?
Oh, we're going to try and get everybody involved, and it's just a pleasure to coach these young men and an honor to be here. They've been a good group of boys all week, and we wish them all the best of luck.
New Jersey, always known as a hotbed of high school football, turning out lots of Division I recruits. Do you guys feel a little pressure here that you're the favorite in this game? New Jersey won the first Governor's Bowl last year. You come in this year, outnumber them in Division I recruits. Do you feel like the favorite?
No, you don't feel like a favorite. You certainly don't feel like an underdog. We know there's 4 quarters of hard football that's going to be played tonight, and there are an awful lot of Division I players on that other sideline also. So I'm sure we're going to have a great ball game.
Some stirring coach commentary in the locker room before started by Al Rotella. Gave way to Tony Carson, then yourself. It was good old-fashioned locker room chatter in there.
I'll tell you, there's still so much that guys like Tony and I can learn from a guy like Al Rotella. He's a credit to the game, and it was a real treat to be on the staff with him this week. It was a real honor.
Good luck, Mike.
Thanks a lot, Jim.
All right, let's send it back upstairs to Mike and Lou.
All right, Jimmy, the coin toss ready to go. New York in the blue uniforms, New Jersey in the red and the blue pants.
New York has won the toss.
And New York has won the toss. But they have deferred. So New Jersey will receive the start the Governor's Bowl Classic.
So what that tells me right away, Lou,
is New York knows they've got a big-time kicker in Danny Order out of Warwick High School. Not a big kid, just 5'9", 180 pounds. 44 kickoffs this year. 36 went for touchbacks. Going to Michigan State, some kicking camps had him rated as the #1 kicker in the entire country.
Take a look at Rutgers Stadium. The field in great shape for this football game. Some cloud cover overhead. Temperature, though, in the 80s. It's a little bit on the warm side.
Hey, it's not as warm as a couple of weeks ago during the North-South game. I was standing on the sidelines, Lou. I thought I was playing. I was dripping sweat. You see, Joe Savage from Caldwell High School, he played in that game a couple of weeks ago, and New Jersey's ready to go. You know, they have that pride, as Jimmy and Coach Miele were talking about, of being one of the hotbeds for Division I talent in the country. And New York has come to realize that, but they came with some weapons today. They realized they had to get that program, that stability, and go out and get the best players from the state of New York, not just the ones that put up the best stats.
Watch out, guys.
We mentioned as you take a look at the rosters of these two teams, they are just littered with Division I players and players who are going to top 25 caliber teams.
All over the country, you name a program, they're probably represented here today.
Let's talk about all-star games a little bit. Players don't have a lot of time to prepare. There isn't a lot of time to really implement things, if you will. How do the coaches approach getting their teams ready for the game?
Well, I think they look for the smart kids with talent right off the bat. I mean, a lot of these guys can play football, but when you have 3.5 days to implement the program, a lot of times some of maybe your better players don't crack the starting lineup because some of those guys who may be a step below in talent pick it up faster, and we'll see that here tonight where some other guys are getting the start over some bigger name type players. But they got here Tuesday night, Lou. It was so hot on Tuesday, really no practice, a little walkthrough stuff late Tuesday night, and then they went triple sessions Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Former players have done very well in college. Thank you, Anthony Weaver, Marquise Walker, Eric McCoo, who played well at Penn State, and the list goes on and on.
You know, with Mr. McCoo, we could be one day seeing a Heisman Trophy winner. Penn State in some publications is the preseason #1 this year. And if they're to get there, they're going to go there with Eric McCoo. And they may do it with Rashard Casey, too, out of Hoboken a few years ago. He may get Joe Paterno's nod as the starting quarterback.
All right, Jim Irwin out of William Floyd High School will kick off for New York. It's a high kick that goes into the end zone. Mark Hall lets it go through the back of the end zone, and New Jersey will put the football in play at the 20-yard line. Let's give you the New Jersey starting offense. We start with Chris Kojak. It is pronounced Kojak, the left tackle. Big Augie Hoffman's the left guard. Joe Traxler, Kevin Sampson, and Frank Wilpert, the starting line. And we emphasize starting because everyone will play in this all-star game. The skill players, Frank Miserelli, who we spoke about, the tight end, Bernie Fiddler, Greg Toll. Mike Forkham is the starting quarterback. Aaron Martin and Josh Hobbs, two very talented wide receivers, get the starting nod. And Mike Forkham, who gets the starting nod at quarterback out of Hoboken, where the program has been so successful. Late addition, really, to the quarterback slot on this all-star team. 1st and 10, New Jersey at their own 20-yard line. Out of the I formation, the handoff goes up the middle to Josh Minkins, who carries the football. 5'11", 175 pounds out of Willingboro High School. The New York defense at the defensive ends, Colby Kuhns and Mike Doughton. Mika Kimball and Bobby Hafler are the tackles, and Michael Bitelli is the nose guard. The linebackers for New York. And keep an eye on both of these guys, but especially Clifton Smith, an outstanding player. Matt Zielinski, the other linebacker. At the safeties, Curtis Gilliam and Wade Turner. And the corners are Oresti Aroni and William Benjamin. It is 2nd down and 5, a 5-yard pickup on that first down carry. New Jersey will take that all day. They have twin receivers split out to the left side and split backs now behind Mike Forkham. He goes back to throw, rolls out. Now he'll pull the football down and runs into a sea of blue jerseys across the 25-yard line.
Well, that's a good job with New York right there. Forkham couldn't get outside the pocket. They did a good job turning him back inside. And that's when New York came in, making gang tackles. Lou, there are some certain rules in this game. You can't blitz in an all-star football game. And here you see Mike trying to get outside there. If he looked up right away, he had Fiddler right out here, top right side flat. But but he was getting pursued pretty heavily. And here you go. They kept him inside like you're supposed to do, and that's not bad. First couple plays of an all-star game, good discipline staying home. And Forkham unable to pick up any yards.
We should mention we will play 15-minute quarters. College football rules in this all-star football game. And we have 13:25 remaining first quarter. Handoff goes off tackle, and now sliding outside and picking up good yardage is Gerald Hayes, the big fullback out of Passaic Tech, on his way to Wisconsin.
Actually, he changed his mind, Lou. He's going to go to Pittsburgh. Yeah, he changed his mind, and boy, what a year he had, and what a year he did job for John Irado at Passaic Tech this year. Unbeaten, won the Group 4 championship, spectacular fashion at Giant Stadium back in early November. He was just one of many studs that Passaic Tech had this year.
Well, bad news for the Badgers and great news for Pittsburgh, and well, I guess it's bad news for the rest of the Big East as well.
Yeah, he's a player. He'll line up at the defensive end next year for the Panthers.
It is first down and 10 for Jersey. They're at their own 32-yard line. Handoff goes again to Minkins. This time he is hit behind the line of scrimmage and driven back. Good penetration for the New York team.
Well, I'll tell you, one thing the coaches from New York have been talking about all week is that guy right there, number 38, Matt Zielinski. 6'3", 250 pounds out of Clarence High School up there in the Buffalo region, going off to Duke next year. They say he's just around the ball constantly. He's going to get a lot of two-way action here today. Here comes Minkins, and you're going to see 38 fly into your picture. You got to put a hat on him because he'll be all over the field today. Just broke down, shot the guard center gap, and the big fella wrapping up Minkins.
Loss of a couple, second down and 12. Forkham looks to throw, lets it fly, and it's in and out of the hands of the deep receiver. He had his man out there. It was intended for number 9, Aaron Martin, who will be coming to Rutgers, so he will become very familiar with this football stadium.
Yeah, both your starting wideouts today, Lou, will be heading to Rutgers next year. Josh Hobbs out of Somerville High School, played for Coach Kevin Carty over there. And, of course, Aaron Martin, the #1 team in the Tri-State, Bergen Catholic, for Fred Stengel. Sensational year as the Crusaders went 12-0.
Aaron Martin's brother, Ben, is the strong safety for Rutgers, so he'll be joining him here with the Scarlet Knights. Third down and 12 for New Jersey. Big play if they want to keep possession on their opening drive of the game. Forkham gives, handoff, off tackle, breaking some tackles, but then slipping down at the 34 is Greg Toll. So New York holds, and New Jersey will have to kick the football away.
So New York, New Jersey right away tries to get a little combination going, the run, the pass. Good pressure. They've shown good pressure up front. Zielinski is going to be a load to handle. Boy, I love those linebackers, Zielinski and Clifton Smith.
Scott Kennedy is into kick for New Jersey out of West Milford, New Jersey. And it's a line drive kick that bounces just short of the 35. And New York will put it in play there. Let's give you the New York offense. This is the way they will line up. Their offensive line, the center, Steve Rowe, the tackles, Timothy Fowler and Jesse Brush, and the guards, Steve Peretta and Kevin Reinisch. The skilled players for the New York squad look like this: Kurt Miller and Gary Carruthers, 2 tight end system. Wide receiver will be Willie Poole. They'll want to get the football to him. In the backfield, Fred Roleno, the tailback, Matt Zielinski behind Eric Hatkowitz. The quarterback, 6'3", 210, out of Longwood, Long Island. And he hands the football off on the first play. Nothing doing. New Jersey getting penetration. Shane Smith getting in there quickly. And here is the Jersey defense. Up front, the defensive ends are Sean Price and Len Cusimano. The tackles, Walif Campbell and Cedric Lewis. And Dan Klein lines up at the nose position. The linebackers for New Jersey, we'll give that to you after this play as New York comes up on a second down and 10. 11 minutes remaining, first quarter. No score in the second annual Governor's Ball. And a penalty flag flies. So the officials cooperating with us as we will now give you the rest of the defense. And the penalty does go against New York.
I'll tell you, Lou, one thing we see right away is Clifton Smith is already in the backfield.
Substitution infraction on the offense, 5 yards, replay, second down.
So here's the rest of that Jersey defense has promised. Raheem Orr, an outstanding linebacker, as is Shane Smith. Darrell Kennedy and Corey Collins at the safeties. Mike Postel and Teron Gray are the corners. It was an illegal substitution penalty against New York. It makes it 2nd and 15.
Yeah, well, we saw Clifton Smith come in. They pull him right back out now. And when he gets it going, boy, watch out. Everyone talks about him as a linebacker, but this is a kid who ran for 950 yards this year and a bunch of touchdowns. And he is a major talent. Paul Pasqualoni is going to love to have Big Clifton up there in Orange Country.
Another whistle. This time delay game. This is not a good sequence for New York.
No, because you're going to have enough trouble going up against that vaunted defense in New Jersey. You don't need the yellow flag to start pushing you back.
Dead ball, delay game, offense, 5 yards, replay, 2nd.
So now it is 2nd down and 20, illegal substitution and delay of game, back to back.
Right away you start thinking, too, you got to throw the ball a little bit here. You got a long way to go here, and maybe the best part of this New Jersey defense, they're so strong all across the board, but their defensive backs fly to the football. You got guys back there with 4.39 speed, and Hatkowitz known more as a runner than a passer.
Hatkowitz hands off, and not much there. Again, it is closed off quickly. Fred Ruliano carries the football, but he just didn't have a chance.
Well, Sean Price, who's headed off to Ohio State, jumped in right there, 6'1", 220, has 4.55 speed, just pulled off the blocker, got right in there, and a nice job. They're fast, Lou. This New Jersey defense is fast. That's what New York was worried about. Now watch Sean Price right here, just going to slide off, just throws him out of there. And you're talking about an all-state player that he just takes like a rag doll and throws him out and goes in and make the play.
No gain on the play. 3rd down and 20 for New York. Hatkowitz keeps the football, looks to run out of there. Looked like he wanted to throw, but now he'll run across the 30-yard line, and he is well short of 1st down yardage. Good pursuit by the New Jersey defense.
Well, Len Cusimano out of Passaic Valley, he got that thing going. Shane Smith will get credit for the tackle, but he just came flying in off the end. And remember, you can't blitz in these games. He's headed off to Syracuse next year, and the coaches for New Jersey said that he has been spectacular this week in practice. He's a big-time player, both on and off the field, National Honor Society student. He's got the whole package.
Jim Irwin with the punt. It's a long punt that carries back to the 20-yard line, and a big hit downfield for the New York squad. In on the play was Brian Mann out of Fairport, New York. Penalty flag down on the play as well. Great play.
Brian's probably the one that gets pushed in the back, too, and still makes the play.
No score with 8:45 remaining here in this first quarter.
Illegal block in the back during the return. 10 yards, 1st down.
Well, here you did. Take a look. And there it is. Yeah, go ahead, block me in the back. I'm still going to come in, submarine the ball carrier, and make the play. Brian Mann, big-time play. He's headed off to play for the Black Bears of Maine next year.
By the way, that was a 47-yard punt by Jim Irwin, who will head to the Ivy League next year.
So that 44.6 yard per punt average is legit. I didn't believe it till I saw the punt.
Yes, it is. Here's a tough run by Greg Toll, spinning and twisting across the 20-yard line. Finally falls down at about the 22.
Well, this is a kid that's the 2nd all-time leading scorer in state history with 580-some-odd points. He'll head off to Boston College next year, and this will be the last time you ever see Greg Toll run the football, except when he's intercepting passes up there in Chestnut Hill. Has a legit chance to make the team as a freshman. No redshirt stuff. The kid is the son of a football coach. You know he knows how to play the game. Sensational, has lost a little weight, he's got his speed back up to where he was junior year. He's ready to go.
1st team All-State. His numbers, which we'll give you a little later on, just unbelievable for his career at Ramapo. It is 2nd down now, whistles and another penalty flag. So the first quarter dotted with some early penalties. Well, let's give you some of those Greg Toll numbers as we have a delay of game. Greg Toll, 1st team All-State, 37 touchdowns, career 5,180 yards. Unbelievable. 84 touchdowns in his career, excuse me. 37 was just in 1 year, 9.4 yards per carry.
It's unbelievable. And when you throw in the defense and the specialty touchdowns, this is a kid who had 97 touchdowns for his career.
Second down and 12. Forkham looks to throw, sets up, fires, catch made by Aaron Martin. Makes the catch and then tried to turn upfield, gets up to about the 27-yard line or so.
Well, what a year he had for Bergen Catholic. 17 touchdowns, receptions. That's a school record. There have been some good guys to come out of that school, and there'll be another good guy coming out next year. His quarterback, Matt Lavecchio, just a junior this year, committed a couple of weeks ago to Notre Dame. This time it's Mike Forkham out of Hoboken. Good zip on the out. Aaron pulls it in, picks up a couple yards after the catch. So this is a guy that's had some good quarterbacks throw to him. He's had Lavecchio during the year, and now he's got a proven winner in Mike Forkham, who will head off to play for the University of New Haven next year up in Connecticut.
Aaron Martin last year, 36 receptions for the Crusaders of Bergen Catholic. 16 went for touchdowns.
He's had two great catches at Giant Stadium in the state championship game when they beat St. Joe's of Montvale 35-9. Coming into the game, they were ranked 1 and 2 in our MSG Daily News Tri-State poll, and they just put a hurting on St. Joe's that day. Just totally dominated them in every facet of the football game.
New Jersey is just about a yard shy of the first down. It'll bring up third down and 1.
See, now, when you have a line that goes 283 across the front and you've got just a little bit to go, I take a shot here. You know, just a little play action into the line. Let one of your guys go deep. Take a shot. Open this thing up. Get all the nerves out, ready to go.
Mike Quick, the gambling coach.
Mielo's not going to do it, though. It's got that full house backfield ready to go with 2 fullbacks.
Third down and 1. Nothing fancy here, just straight ahead power football. And New Jersey does indeed pick up enough for the first down. They're up near the 30-yard line.
He's like, Quick, what are you out of your mind? I got 2 fullbacks in there, and Fiddler and Hayes, and I got a running back that played for me for 3 years on the varsity level who ran for over 5,500 career yards. Are you out of your mind that we're going to put it up on 3rd and inches? And there he is, Greg Toll getting in behind the big guys and just getting enough. Shifty, crafty type runner with great speed, 4.45 speed Greg Toll has. And when he gets it going in the open field, he's fun to watch.
We are just about halfway through this first quarter. 7:15 remaining here in the first period. No score between New York and New Jersey. Handoff goes up the middle. Bernie Fiddler carries the football. 6'2", 220 out of Kingsway High School. Also recruited by Rutgers, but will be going to Maryland.
And he's got a serious bloodline in that family. Flipper Anderson is his cousin. Flipper played at Paulsboro High School, that legendary Group 1 football program in South Jersey here. Went on, had that long win streak to set the state record that ended a year ago. But what a year. What a career Flipper Anderson had in high school. And Fiddler, well, he's another guy you're going to see run for the last time today. He's going to play defense next year for the Terrapins.
Second down and about 8. Handoff, big hole momentarily, but then it closed up quickly. And slicing down near the 35-yard line was Josh Minkins.
Well, one thing I was talking to Augie Hoffman about, the big 6'3", 303-pound lineman from St. Joe's of Montvale who's headed off to Boston College next year, is he says he's really gotten back into his karate stuff. He says he needs to move better when he heads up to BC. He's going to play guard up there. Did a nice job sealing the end on that play, came across, sealed, and got Minkins a couple extra yards. Just an unbelievable specimen. Augie Hoffman, big number 78, squats 720 pounds.
It is third down and 5 for New Jersey, trying to keep the drive alive. Forkham looks to throw. He's in trouble, trying to get away. Now he flips ahead, and he did get it to Bernie Fiddler. A flag is down at the 33-yard line.
We'll see a little Doug Flutie there and Mike Forkham, but what a job the guys up front for New York did, just blowing through that New Jersey offensive line that goes 283 across the front.
Holding is the call against New Jersey. Fiddler said, "Thanks a lot, buddy," when he flipped the ball to him.
That just adds insult to injury, Lou. You sack a guy for 13-yard loss and there's holding on the play. Man, if you're going to hold him, make sure you hold him.
Holding, offense, decline, 4th down.
It is refused. They'll take the loss, and it is 4th down, so New Jersey will have to kick the football away. Well, so far, with 5:31 remaining in this first quarter, it appears to be a defensive battle between these two teams. Neither team able to get much going offensively. Scott Kennedy is in to kick it away. It is a line drive kick, which bounces across the 40 and rolls dead at about the 34-yard line. 5 minutes and 17 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. New York and New Jersey, no score.
Get loud, guys.
I think those guys are enjoying themselves.
I'd say so. Either that or they're yelling at Cavallo or Golda down on the sidelines.
First down and 10. Here's a handoff up the middle. New York, nothing fancy here, just trying to establish something. Remember that last drive they had was fouled up by the penalties.
Well, they get Gary Jones out of Ravenna High School, headed off to Hudson Valley next year, 5'10", 205-pounder. There you get a look at Gary. Ran for 1,564 yards and 22 touchdowns this year, and he missed 4 games due to injury. Ran for 1,792 as a junior. That's a guy who knows what to do with the football when he has it in his belly.
Eric Hatkowitz at quarterback for New York. Play action, rolls out right side, steps up, throws, and the catch made, but was it in bounds? No, they say out of bounds on the reception. A nice reception made by
Sean Johnson.
Sean Johnson.
Yeah, Fairport High School. They run a little play action here, Lou, and that's what they're going to have to do. They can't let these guys from New Jersey just pin them back and get going. Hatkowitz takes it down, out on the roll. He goes to Johnson. Now, Billy D. Williams out of Neptune High School does a good job closing and pushing him out of bounds. Must have been bobbling the ball going out, but couldn't see it from that angle.
4.5 remaining, first quarter. On a 3rd down play, and handoff goes off. Tackle, ball is loose. Fumble on the play. Let's see what the call is. And they say New York retains possession.
Well, that time they showed us Big Clifton Smith in the backfield with Matt Zielinski. Boy, that's a lot of meat up front to get in behind. And they told us before the game they may do some of that because they just didn't know if they'd be able to run against this New Jersey defense.
It's another 4th down play, so New York punts it away. Jim Irwin lets it fly. It's picked up by Teron Gray. He's hit and nailed at the 22-yard line. Teron Gray out of Millville, New Jersey, on his way also to Pittsburgh.
As we said, 39 players for this New Jersey team headed to play Division I football next year. One of the most heavily recruited states in the country for high school football talent, New Jersey, right there behind the heavyweights, your Texases, your Californias, your Pennsylvanias, your Ohio's, your Floridas. New Jersey's right in there.
1st and 10, New Jersey at the 22-yard line. Split backs, handoff, big hole momentarily, and then Greg Toll is dragged down from behind.
Nice job by Kurt Miller coming in to plug the hole there, and there you go. I mean, we've been telling you the whole night, but New Jersey, 50 players, 39 off to Division I, and New York, 54 players, 15 Division I. There's some guys, I'll tell you, both states doing a good job.
New quarterback in for New Jersey, Mike Walker, 6'3", 210 out of Oakrest. Recruited by Syracuse, Delaware, Minnesota, highly recruited, rolls out, left side on the run. It's caught by the secondary receiver, Aaron Martin, the initial receiver. It went through his hands, and that player is shaken up. Let's see.
It's Frank Mizzarelli from Lenape Valley. He just got popped on the play. And he's still down on the field. Aaron Martin was there to pick up the loose ball. But Frank Mizzarelli just ripped in the gut. Probably just got the wind knocked out of him a little bit. And that is when that happens, when you get the wind knocked out of you, that happened to me once playing in a touch football game, you think you're going to die. Take a look from the reverse angle here. And watch Big Frank, who's getting up, walking. But again, New Jersey putting good pressure on. You're going to see Frank just get ripped right in the gut coming up. And there's Aaron. Immaculate reception stuff for New Jersey.
17-yard pass play for New Jersey. Martin takes it up across the 40-yard line. Football at the 41. 3 minutes and 3 seconds remaining there in the first quarter. Greg Toll, huge hole up the middle across the 50 and spins into New York territory at the 49. So for the first time tonight, New Jersey is in New York territory.
Wade Turner possibly saved the touchdown there. Greg got out there, and he has that little bend to his upper body. You know he's feeling good. And again, he's got 4.45 speed. He's found the end zone a lot with that speed. Good time stuff, huh, Lou?
I'll tell you, Greg Toll, second all-time to Kevin Harvey of Paulsboro, who then went to Temple. And a break in the action, 2:42 remaining. New York and New Jersey, no score.
It was the best thing we ever did. We got rid of all our bills.
0, 0, 0.
Today, you could start a new beginning.
If you're a homeowner, call 1-800-CHAMPION for our Pay Down Your Debt program.
Find out how you can have zero balances on all of your bills and save hundreds of dollars a month.
We're saving $300 a month.
I should have done it sooner. No better time, no better way.
No day like today.
Isn't today a great day for a new beginning? When your bank says no, Champion says yes.
Oh, there's great taste in pudding that takes me back. And everybody loves it 'cause it's Cozy Shack. Better than homemade, see for yourself. Everyone's buying it, so help yourself. And if it's sold out, yell, hey Jack, get Cozy Shack. I need some Cozy Shack.
If you can't get enough Yankee baseball, there's only one place to be. No one brings you Yankee baseball like MSG.
Been playing for a while. Been playing since I was 8. Been a pretty big part of my life, you know, to my upbringing, and now I just play whenever I can. But I have a lot of fun with it though.
More angles, more insight. MSG, it's more than just a game.
You can never be sure when you'll witness history, but if you're not there, you can be sure that you won't. Get out there. See the perennial powerhouse Atlanta Braves July 15th through the 17th. July 17th is Helmet Bank Day for fans 14 and under, courtesy of Fleet Bank. Interleague play continues July 18th through the 20th as the Expos take on the Yanks. July 18th is Yogi Berra Day with a commemorative pin courtesy of Chase Manhattan Bank.
We're back in.
Welcome back to Rutgers Stadium in Piscataway, New Jersey, site of the second annual Governor's Bowl Football Classic. And throughout tonight's game, we want you to meet the players from the New York and New Jersey squads. Here's a look at the New Jersey backfield.
30-second tick up.
11-175, attending University of Louisville. Mike Wicker, Oakhurst High School, 6'3", 205, attending Rome in the fall.
Joe Hayes, Fayette County Tech High School, 6'2", 230, attending University of Pittsburgh. Mike Falcom, Hoboken High School, 5'11", 185, attending the University of New Haven.
Greg Toll, Rampo High School, 5'11", 200 pounds, attending Boston College.
Bernie Fiddler, Kingsway Regional High School, 6'2", 230, attending the University of Maryland in the fall.
A look at some of the New Jersey backs on a fourth down play to begin the second period. New Jersey just goes straight ahead. Muscle football on the quarterback sneak. Mike Walker picks up the first down. So Jersey keeps the drive alive. Lou Brogno along with Mike Quick up here in the booth. Jimmy Cavallo and Gene Golden down on the sidelines. Mike, it's a defensive struggle in the first period. New York with 2 total yards of offense and New Jersey 64 yards.
Well, talking to Buddy Krumenacker, the defensive coordinator for the New York team and one of the co-head coaches, he said during the week his defense was much ahead of the New York offense, and that has showed in the first half.
First and 10, New Jersey. Some misdirection football, but it did not fool the New York defense. Again, they just diagnosed that play very quickly. Gerald Hayes really had no chance.
Zielinski again around the football. The kid is there all the time. They're just flying to the football. And that New York team, they're not intimidated by the guys from New Jersey up front. You see good pursuit, 71 flying in there for New York. And Joe Massey out of Canarsie going to Bucknell next year. Plays for Mike Camardisi, the Chiefs of Canarsie High School, one of the perennial public school powers in the city.
Second down and about 9. Flip goes outside to Minkins. Tries to turn it in again. Not much there. He does well to scramble for a couple of extra yards after his hit. But again, that New York pursuit is very impressive.
It's Zielinski again. I mean, we get so caught up with Clifton Smith and talking about Clifton, and I'll be honest, I didn't know anything about Matt Zielinski being up there out of the Buffalo area at Clarence High School. But this kid is sideline to sideline. Watch him scrape to the outside. Good pursuit. Good job by the guys up front getting some pressure. Here it gets turned in. Boy, New York's just doing a nice job. Just stringing it out along the way.
Important play in the drive here. Third down and 8 for New Jersey. Football at the 24-yard line. Back to throw is Walker. Now he sets it up and throws it behind his intended receiver, Joe Savage, who is a very impressive receiver out of Caldwell, heading to Michigan State.
Well, they were looking for the flanker screen, and even if it was completed, they got ineligible receivers downfield. A couple of the linemen released a little too early. That play kind of ugly.
There's your call.
You know, Ramapo High School runs that all the time with Chris Sims and Nicky Gallo, but that's a little bit different when you have all year and summer to work on it.
Exactly, Mike.
Ineligible downfield on the offense. It's declined. Fourth down.
When you have only a week or so to practice, it's very difficult to get the timing on those type of plays.
And that's all timing. That play is all timing. Sell it, sell it, sell it, let the guys come in, and then pop it.
Pick one, pick one, pick one.
And it just didn't work out that well.
2 minutes gone by here in the second quarter on a warm, humid evening in central New Jersey. Rutgers Stadium, site of the Governor's Bowl, and a pretty good crowd on hand to see the game. Our first field goal attempt of the contest. Doug Kirchner out of Bergen Catholic. The kick is up. It is no good. Wide to the right. 41-yard attempt.
Well, Kirchner at 83 points this year kicking the football, setting the single-season state kicking record for Bergen Catholic. Had 2 field goals on the season, had the distance, but just a bit wide right.
So New York takes over on downs, and the defense that time, the old bend but don't break method. They gave up yardage, but no points.
No points. They've done a nice job. Very impressed with the guys up front and that linebacking core. Done a nice job.
And Michael!
Let's see if New York can get something going offensively, though. They have not been able to do so far. 2 yards total offense. That's not going to win you very many football games.
Not at all. Stats supplied by master stat man Chris Riso out of the Section 1 area of New York.
Here's Eric Hatkowitz, still at quarterback, running some option, turns it in across the 30, spins across the 34-yard line. That was an impressive run by the New York quarterback.
Well, the last time Hatkowitz played a football game, that was a big deal. He played in the Long Island Championship against Massapequa with a final score, Longwood 22, Massapequa 19. Had all 22 of their points. 3 touchdowns, 166 yards rushing. That was on the AstroTurf at Hofstra a couple of days after Thanksgiving. And he plays quarterback like a linebacker. He's a tough kid, loves contact, doesn't throw it a lot, but look at the big legs and spinning. He's always working.
All right, back to regular action, and the flip goes outside to Scott White, the tailback who carries the football, heading to Boston College in the fall. And he picks up very little yardage. There are a number of players on both squads heading to BC. BC did a great job recruiting this area.
Well, I'll tell you, Al Golden, who handles the recruiting for New Jersey for Boston College, did a sensational job, handles New York as well. and they got 8 players from this game that are going up to Boston College. They got another kid, Keith Hemmings, a wide receiver out of Woodbridge, who should be in this game. Sensational a week ago in the North-South game. Catches everything.
Second down play. Handoff again goes up the middle. Hatkowitz did a good job to sell it as he faked the pitch to the outside. Clifton Smith actually carried the football on that last play for New York. Short pickup, and it's 3rd down and 8. So again, New York finds themselves in a 3rd down and long situation.
Hatkowitz had 1 game this year. He was 13 of 16, 266 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Hatkowitz hit just as he hands it off on a reverse. And not much happening. Really diagnosed beautifully by New Jersey's Teron Gray, who stayed at home and made the play.
Well, Willie Poole, who's one of those guys headed off to Boston College next year from Christ the King High School, couldn't get to the corner, and we talked about the speed the defensive backs from New Jersey possess. What a job here by Gray, headed off to Pitt next year, 5'10", 180 pounds out of Millville High School. And here comes the wide receiver reverse. Hatkowitz gives it to Willie Poole, and there all the guys from New Jersey just running. And what we have here is a botched punt as we're in the replay, as the ball is kicked off the up back for New York. So now New Jersey is going to get tremendous field position. Jim Irwin out of Floyd High School out on Long Island, his punt hit the up back, and now New Jersey will set up in good shape at the 43-yard line of New York.
Well, the first real miscue of the game, not exactly a turnover, but let's see if New Jersey can now take advantage of it inside New York territory to begin this drive. Mike Forkum comes back out at quarterback for New Jersey. They come up split out of the eye, receivers split left and right. Play action to Toll, and now Forkum rolling out, still rolling and nailed in the backfield. Excellent defensive play by Brian Mann out of Fairport.
Well, Mann does a nice job there. Forkum eludes the first bit of pressure. But this offensive line of New Jersey heralded as stud-casted at 283 across the front. They're getting beaten by this New York defensive line. Mike gets away from the first one, but then Mann says, you beat me once, but not the second time. Forkum almost putting the ball on the ground. Good job by Brian Mann.
Brian Mann on his way to the University of Maine. Well, it looks like the Black Bears are going to get themselves a pretty good linebacker.
Yeah, sure. He comes from a great high school program. Fairport High School state champs a season ago. He was the MVP his junior year in that game.
2nd down and 21. Forkum running out of there, scrambling, gets a good block on the corner across the 45, and then dragged out of bounds at the 40-yard line.
Well, you gotta love receivers that'll peel back and look for contact. And Joe Savage from Caldwell High School is a guy who's known for catching touchdown passes, but you can add another thing now. He comes to look to hit. Now watch this. Forkum's going to get out, does a good job smelling where the pressure is, gets to the outside, and here comes Savage, top of your screen, and ba-boom! He just puts a hat on number 45, William Benjamin out of Susan Wagner High School out of Staten Island. Great job by Savage coming back.
3rd down play here, 3rd and 8. Handoff up the middle of Toll, and he is hit immediately and dropped. No gain on the play. Maybe he picked up a yard.
Mike Doughton out of Liverpool High School, headed off to Edinburgh next year, 6'5", 215 pounds. Tremendous job. Didn't get caught on the little sprint draw that New Jersey runs. Stays home, does a good job getting right in there, and once he grabs on to Toll, he's not letting go.
9 minutes, 15 seconds remaining second quarter. Still no score between New York and New Jersey. Jersey in punt formation. It's a bad snap. Kennedy does a good job, runs away, and kicks the ball inside the 10. Fumbled inside the 5. Recovered by New Jersey, but there's a flag down at the 39-yard line.
And I think what you're going to get, because of the bat, once Kennedy dropped the snap, those linemen are on a 1-2 release.
They don't know the ball's been bobbled. They released, you're going to get an eligible lineman downfield, and New York catches a huge break. The punt covered 44 yards. A low snap, but he shouldn't.
On the punters, after the punt, there was a recovery by New Jersey, which will be negated. Replay fourth.
So New Jersey will have to kick again, and New York does get a huge break. Mike Postel was the man out of Mattawan who recovered the ball inside the 5.
Talented player, strong program, Mattawan High School. Can't get a number on the New York player who did that and tried to grab the football, but I'll tell you one thing, he got an earful when he came over to the sidelines because, son, I don't know what you're doing. Ball rolling around inside the 5-yard line. You got Postel with 4.39 speed coming down on you. Hey, man, back off.
All right, Kennedy will try this again. First team All-State punter, recruited by Harvard, Georgetown, and Johns Hopkins. You know, in 1997, he averaged 48.5 yards per kick. That'll open some eyes. 8:57 remaining. There's a timeout taken by the New York squad. So the New York squad calls for time. They want to talk things over. So far, defensive struggle. Last year, they had a 36-20 game, a lot of offensive fireworks.
Right from the start, New York came out flying last year. They jumped up 14-0. New Jersey comes back, ties it at 14. Marquise Walker catches the long touchdown pass going into the locker room, puts them up 20, puts New York up 20-14. And in the second half, New Jersey just came out and just dominated.
Here's that Boston College Jack.
We talked about BC a little bit, hitting the jackpot, especially with linemen. And look at all these players that they have been able to recruit in New York and New Jersey. They have just done a tremendous job.
Yeah, Al Golden, as we said, he recruits New York and New Jersey, and it's just, boy, what a jackpot they have hit. It's just unbelievable, and if you can recruit this area, you're going to win on the collegiate level.
All right. New Jersey.
Bruno Adler, Edgemont High School, 6'4", 220, Bucknell University. Ani McLeod, Monroe-Woodbury High School, 5'11", 185 pounds, West Point. Eric Hackowitz, Longwood High School, 6'3", 200 pounds.
Come on, you could have had the ball!
You saw some of the players being introduced. We'll come back to those players as that punt goes into the end zone, and New York will get it at the 20-yard line. So New York really dodging a bullet as they would have given up the ball inside the 5. Now they will get it at the 20-yard line. Here's the rest of the New York players as they introduce themselves to you.
Fred Ruliano, Delaware Valley, 5'10", 215 pounds, Marist College. Gary Jones, Ravina Quinn Selkirk, 5'10", 205, Hudson Valley Community College.
Sharon Edwards, Longwood High School, 6'1", 185 pounds, I'm going to Central Connecticut.
Leon Clark, 5'8", 180, Canarsie High School, Brooklyn, New York, University of Delaware.
LaRon Griffin, South Shore High School, 5'11", 235, Iowa Central.
As we come back to the action, breaking away at the 30, to the 20, to the 10, to the 5 is Hackowitz, touchdown New York! Eric Hackowitz on a tremendous run and really got a great block at the point of attack.
Well, we said in the open that Hackowitz makes big plays and big games, and there, again, he comes across the line of scrimmage like a tough guy, and you have to when you're going up against a defense like this. Just bounces off a couple of guys, and then he showed me another element of his game, and Stony Brook's getting a good one, 6'3", 210 pounds. A little giddy up in that step, and he had just enough to get himself into the end zone because Sean Price, with 4.55 speed, was giving chase, almost caught him, but Hackowitz, 80 yards. New York, for the second year in a row, jumps on top of New Jersey.
Dan Onar's in to kick the extra point, an all-state kicker out of Warwick, New York, and his kick is blocked. So we'll see if that is a factor a little bit later on. New York has a 6-0 lead with 8:27 remaining in the second quarter. Eric Hackowitz with the long touchdown runs.
Well, here you go. Take a look. Eric Hackowitz fakes it to Zielinski, and then he keeps it himself, and he breaks a tackle. Strong legs, keeps him pumping, gets a nice block from Zielinski, who was the play faker on it. Two New Jersey guys collide, still getting blocks down the field. And check out Sean Price. Impressive looking, big number 80. Look at the stride for the big fella. But Hatkowitz, he's running out of gas, but he's saying, get me to the end zone. All I need is 10 yards. And he gets in. Longwood High School. Boy, I tell you, his offensive coordinator in today's game's got to be loving it. Joe Sipp III. He was his head coach for Longwood High School this year. The top program out there, the number 6 team in the MSG Daily News Tri-State Football Poll. And that's his kid. He quarterbacked for him all year, Eric Hatkowitz. Good job by Big E getting it into the end zone. Boy, I tell you, he deserves some water. You got to get him some oxygen there.
And Hatkowitz showed some strength, too. That tackle that he broke was Jim Bloodworth, 6'5", 265 out of Warren Hills High School.
Well, we said, Lou, he likes to play it like a linebacker. Get those legs in there, get that body around. He doesn't throw it a lot, didn't have to. Longwood ran for over 3,500 yards this year as a team. He's not a bad guy to have in there. Big plays and big games.
New York breaks on top 6-0, but I would remind you that last year, New York also broke out on top, and New Jersey came from behind for the victory. The kick by Irwin. It's a short kick, which bounces at the 10-yard line. Taken at the 15, and then breaking away at the 20. A nice move at the 25-yard line by Mike Postel. So New Jersey will put it in play there. Gene Golda is down on the New York sideline with our touchdown maker. Gene?
Lou, about 10 minutes ago, I saw Eric Hatkowitz on the sideline. He was upset. The offense wasn't doing much. He threw his helmet down, but that all changed in one play, Eric, the 80-yard touchdown run. Tell us about the play.
Well, it was a veer option left, and ready to fake to the, I have to read the defensive tackle. If he pinches in to play a fullback, then he'd like a pitcher to take it. But running back, Giuliani, blasted the outside linebacker off, so I just cut it off and I went across, just came across. Everybody, motion was going left. I just cut it back right. It was just wide open.
Everybody said this was going to be New Jersey's game. No intimidation factor for New York, though.
No, none of us. We knew we were probably going to be the underdogs because all the scholarships, 1A scholarships they got more than us, so we figured, hell, they're going to be a hell of a lot better than us. But none ever fazed us at all. We knew we were going to come out, play hard, and we really want to get this one.
Good job, Eric. Thanks for your time. Lou, back to you.
All right, Gene. Greg Toll carried the football on that last play for New Jersey. There was also a penalty flag thrown on the play.
Offense, 10 yards, replay, first down.
And holding is the call, so that will back New Jersey up.
See, Hatkowitz sounds like a linebacker, too. He's just a tough guy who happens to play quarterback. But hey, this is a guy that should have been given some type of scholarship to a 1AA school. I don't want to hear this nonsense about, oh, he was too small to play strong safety, not fast enough to play free safety. The kid makes plays. Forget about time and size. Players make plays. That's what Hatkowitz does.
On a first down and 20, big problems here for New Jersey. Mike Worker is nailed. I think they're going to say he was down at the 1-yard line. He desperately tried to scramble out of the end zone.
Well, you know, it's funny. When you talk about breaking the plane, usually you talk about getting into the end zone. Worker that time broke the plane coming out of the end zone. Good call by officials. But once again, Brian Mann out of Fairport High School, he's been doing it all game for New York. 6'2", 210 pounds. He's got a 3.5 grade point average, so you know he's not going to get outsmarted on a little naked bootleg. Stays with it, and there the good call. Good job by Brian Mann. Just a tremendous job by the Fairport High School graduate.
You have any plays in your playbook for 2nd and 36?
Couple Hail Marys.
Here's a handoff up the middle. Josh Minkins had a nice haul and got up to the 10-yard line, so he gets some of the yardage back. It brings up 3rd and very long.
Very impressed by Mann. And a lot of these guys from upstate New York. Zielinski out of Clarence High School out of the Buffalo region. Mann, Fairport High School. These guys came to play. They came to show everybody down here, hey, you know what? Don't forget us. Upstate New York, we can play some football. Both very impressive.
3rd down and 27 for New Jersey. Football sits at the 10-yard line. Receivers split left and right. Aaron Martin is wide to the left, and Josh Hobbs goes wide right. Penalty flag and movement on the line of scrimmage. And Bobby Hampler, defensive end for New York, with his reaction. Looks like it's against Jersey. Let's see.
Dead ball. Full start, offense, replay third.
Yeah, Lou, they got Krzysztof Kazarowski, who's going to play next year for Rutgers from Hillside High School. He's the biggest guy on the field right now, 6'6", 315 pounds. And he almost looked like he just got tired and stood up from his left guard position. Kind of strange. Didn't bust out of his stance. Real strange. Not a good time to get that. The shadow of the end zone.
Well, the ball is down at the 5-yard line. 3rd and 32. They hand it off up the middle. Fumble. Ball still loose through the back of the end zone. That's a safety. And 2 points for New York.
Well, right now what's happening is Walker and Greg Cole aren't on the same page. You know, that Walker has to run those certain steps to get the ball out to Greg. They're not in unison right now. Greg got the ball, put it on the ground. I'm not sure. I want to take another look. I couldn't tell from this angle if he was hit. But right now, the footwork isn't set between these two guys. Yeah, who comes in there? Looks like number 54 for New York. Number 54 would be Micah Kimball out of Fonda Fulton High School, going to Virginia next year. And everything I've read says that he's one of the top prospects in the state of New Jersey and does a nice job that time getting in there and causing some havoc. Micah Kimball, 6'4", 255 pounds.
Yeah, you keep making
3-year starter.
4 or 5.
What the guy does to stay strong.
Oh, yeah, baby, yeah.
He pushes cars uphill. That's what he does for his summer workout. The big fella just jumps in there, says, heck with the weights, I'm going to push cars uphill. And that time he pushed a couple of New Jersey offensive linemen out of the way and got right to Greg Cole.
There's a look at that New York squad. Hey, let's face it, this team lost last year. I think they came down here, they felt they had something to prove. Plus the fact, a lot of people looking at the roster saying New York doesn't have a chance. That fired them up a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'll be the first guy to say it. I always think New Jersey will win this football game, and that just goes to show you don't play these things on paper. You don't play them with whoever has more Division I scholarships. You play games with heart. Right now, New York has more.
Free kick by Scott Kennedy, picked up at the 40-yard line, across the 45, and across the 50-yard line. So a nice run back for New York. It's William Benjamin who carries the football. Again, let's go down to Gene Golda on the New York sideline. Gene?
Lou, probably the most proud people on the field is the defense for New York State right now. And Brian Mann, 2 sacks, set up the safety. The defense has to be feeling really good right now.
Yeah, we've been working hard the past 4 days, and all we're doing is we're ganging up, and that's what we're doing best.
Defense is sparking the team right now.
Yeah, we're just coming out and we're hitting them first. That's what we were taught to do.
Well, good luck the rest of the way. Good job so far. Lou, back to you.
First down and 10 for New York in New Jersey territory at the 49-yard line. Eric Hatkowitz still at quarterback, steps up, throws, has a man wide open at the 20, the 10, touchdown, New York.
Well, give it to the state of New York. Willie Poole with the touchdown, but the state school for New York, Syracuse and Paul Pasqualoni, they love to run that freeze option. And that time, Hatkowitz does it. Puts it in the belly of the fullback, takes a 2-step drop. Willie Poole with 4.5 speed. Gets out there, beats Corey Collins. He's a guy that burns it at 4.39. We said Willie Poole would be a factor in this game, and Hatkowitz. And give Joe Sip the third credit. Great call right there. Little play action, freeze option, boom, touchdown. Great call.
All right, Dan Onar is in to kick the extra point on his way to Michigan State. An all-state kicker. Snap is good, and the kick this time is also good. A break in the action, 5:51 remaining second quarter. New York 15, New Jersey nothing. You're watching the 1999 Governor's Bowl Football Classic.
The Center for Orthopedics and Sports Medicine proudly serves as the official team physicians for the Governor's Bowl in support of the March of Dimes. Providing optimal orthopedic care with today's most advanced techniques, our board-certified fellowship-trained physicians care for patients of all ages. Let the Center for Orthopedics and Sports Medicine get you back in the game. Call 732-505-8844. Doctors Fox and Dollycar are members of the medical staff of Community Medical Center, an affiliate of the St. Barnabas Healthcare System, a proud sponsor of this year's Governor's Bowl.
And cue.
You can see it's a rather ominous shot of the clouds behind Rutgers Stadium. I don't think it's quite that bad. Oh, a little dark up there, but not dark for New York. They lead 15-0 here in the second quarter. Here is your touchdown pass to Willie Poole.
Well, you got the freeze option. They're going to put it in Zielinski's belly. Then he's going to take a little two-step drop, and then Willie Poole's just running the fly, and Hatkowitz puts it right on the line. Little wobble, but Sonny Jurgensen made a living out of that for the Washington Redskins. Willie Poole gets into the end zone. Now you have to wonder, New York has 15 points right now. New Jersey, with this vaunted offense, you got to wonder, is there somebody missing here today? Somebody that could ignite maybe an offense and get them going? A big-time kid? Maybe the nation's #1 recruit, Chris Sims, who's already taken off to the University of Texas. I'll tell you, boy, New Jersey could use him right now because we need to see some passing if you're a New Jersey football fan right now. Because Chris Sims is a guy that threw for over 7,000 yards in his unbelievable 4-year career at Ramapo High School. And they could use the big fella right now. The big lefty going to his good buddy Greg Toll. A 70% completion ratio for Ramapo High School. 63 career touchdowns with just 13 interceptions. And from what I hear, he's doing spectacular down at Texas right now in their passing camp.
New Jersey needs a big play to get things back going in their favor. Here's a nice run across the 20-yard line. And the ball carried by Jamal Lord out of Bayonne on his way to Nebraska. He'll play for the Cornhuskers next year. Gene Gold is on the New York sideline. Gene?
Lou, this has to be so sweet for Willie Poole. The first game of the season, he broke his left foot. He missed all of the year. Last week in the Empire State Challenge, you played defense. This time you come up with a big touchdown catch. How's it feel for you, Willie?
Feels great. You know, being that this is my last high school game, I didn't get to play this season. It just feels great to get out there and score another touchdown.
New York having trouble moving the ball the first quarter and a half. What has happened these last two series?
I don't know. Our offensive line just stepped it up. The quarterback got a nice run and just opened things up for the whole team. We got the energy. Now we're just trying to keep pouring it on.
Well, Willie Poole heading off to Boston College. Good luck the rest of the way. Lou and Mike, back to you.
1st and 10, New Jersey at the 23-yard line. Borkum throws, hit at the line of scrimmage, and knocked away. Joseph Massey, big number 71 out of Canarsie High School, 6'3", 250.
Gotta love those Brooklyn guys. They like to get into it on the line of scrimmage. There's Big Joe right there. Boy, nice job. Really, this New York defensive line has just put it right in the face of New Jersey, and taught well by Mike Camardisi. Ball in the air. Get those arms up, get up there, and that's what Big Joe did right there. Good-looking specimen, Joe Massey from Canarsie High School.
And Joe Massey on his way to Bucknell. You know, the Bison did pretty good. They recruited several players in this game here tonight.
4 guys, Lou. That's a nice job. You get 1 player out of this game, much less 4, and you've done a nice job.
2nd down and 10 for New Jersey. 5.5 remaining, second quarter. New York 15, New Jersey nothing. And the throw is way over the head of Josh Hobbs, intended for him down at the 45. Well, that time, Borkum had to get rid of it quickly. He was feeling the pressure.
Yeah, he was feeling it because Big Joe was coming at him again at a Canarsie High School. And on the other end, the ball went high, and Curtis Gilliam out of Lehman High School in the Bronx, he wasn't looking for any interception. He just wanted to put a hat on somebody, and Curtis Gilliam, special player for Carmine Colasanto. The Lehman Lions lost in the city championship this year in double overtime to Curtis High School, 20-14. Curtis sensational in the game with 2 touchdowns.
Now it's 3rd and 10 for New Jersey, and they keep it conservative. They run up the middle, but that's not going to be nearly enough for the first down. Bernie Fiddler carried the football, but they're going to have to punt.
Yeah, I read a story, I think, this week in the Bergen Record, and they previewed the punter and the kicker, and they said how the punter for New Jersey could be busy in the game. And I'm saying to myself, come on, there's no way. Well, boy, I tell you, those guys from the Bergen Record know what they're talking about, because I sure don't. I didn't think he'd get many kicks at all today, and well, he's going to have a tired leg. Frank Mizzarelli, the center. Mizzarelli's not the center. It's big number 66.
And it's a short kick by Kennedy, and it rattles around at about the 48. New York with sensational field position again. They already lead 15-0. Now they have had big plays right out of the box on their last 2 possessions. Let's see what they come up with this time.
You're in the driver's seat now, boy. You can do a lot of things. Again, this was a team that had 2 yards at the end of the first quarter total offense, and they've really turned it on here in the second half with the big play. Really, it's been 2 plays. It was a defensive play And then offensively, 2 big plays. The Hatkowitz 80-yarder and then the Hatkowitz touchdown pass to Willie Poole.
Now, I'm looking at the American flag on the far end of the stadium down by the scoreboard here at Rutgers Stadium. It's blowing pretty briskly in favor of New York in the way that they're going. Hey, it's got a football feel. Looks like a November sky up there, doesn't it?
And it started to rain a little bit, actually, because the people underneath us all of a sudden about 5 minutes ago ran for cover, and I see a lot coming back with umbrellas now.
Timeout on the field, 4 minutes and 42 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. And New York has a 15-0 lead. Governor's Bowl has Rutgers flavor. We are at Rutgers Stadium, and you can see many players participating in tonight's game are heading to RU to play for Terry Shea.
Yeah, Rutgers has 9 players in this game, as does Syracuse. Unfortunately for Coach Shea, 3 of those guys right there are academically ineligible. Rashawn Conover, Raheem Orr, and Shane Smith, 3 of the most heavily recruited players in the state of New Jersey. So they'll have to get their academic act together before they can play athletically here for the Scarlet Knights.
All right, New York has a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Full house backfield. And the give goes off tackle, sliding to about the 50-yard line. That is Gary Jones on the carry. 5'10", 205, All-State player out of Ravenna.
That's got to be tough being a linebacker for New Jersey right now. It's bad enough that you get the big guys from the New York offensive line hitting you, but then New York throws you 2 fullbacks, Clifton Smith and Matt Zielinski, on those plays, and it's like, boy, you get through the first wave, and then you have these 2 big bulls hitting you.
Pickup of 2 on the last play. It's 2nd down and 8. The ball sits right at the midfield stripe. Again, a full house backfield for New York. And the give goes off tackle again. Scott White carries the football this time. Actually, they say it's Edwards on the carry. He picks up a couple.
Sharon out of Longwood High School. Don Klein out of Manasquan, right around the corner from here. 6'2", 270 pounds. Holding on, making the play right there. Headed off for Temple next year. 41 tackles this year, 7 sacks. His head coach, Vic Caboo, one of the assistants for New Jersey today, the Big Blue of Manasquan, 12-0 this year. Great program there. Big Don, all-state lacrosse player. Got it all going for him, Luke.
3rd down, 7. This time, ball kept by Drew Nadler, who's in at quarterback, and he completes the pass.
Big Sean Johnson.
Sean Johnson at Fairport.
Well, here's Nadler, played for Brian Connolly at Edgemont High School out of Westchester County this year. Edgemont went 12-0, won a Class C championship, and Drew was one of the big reasons why. Here he gets out on the roll, and then he just finds Big Sean Johnson, 6'5", 240 pounds, headed off to Duke next year. Good job by Nadler, getting out and making things happen.
15-yard reception. Drew Nadler, another one of those players, heading to Bucknell, a first-team All-State quarterback, and he tries to get outside, but he will not. Excellent defensive play on the pursuit for New Jersey. Sean Price heading to Ohio State. Here's a guy recruited by Auburn, Florida State, Syracuse, and heads to Ohio State. Not too shabby, huh?
I tell you, they all know where the Garden State Parkway and the Turnpike is in New Jersey, all these major colleges, and I think the New York coaches will say, Drew, give it up next time to Sharon Edwards right there. Just put it into his belly. Rather have him lose 1 yard than 15, but good-looking player. Sean Price, 4.55 speed, 6'1", 220 pounds. Haddon Heights High School down in South Jersey, runs the 110.6.
2 minutes, 10 seconds remaining, first half. Nadler in trouble, and the reception made. Again, Sean Johnson showing some soft hands there. Mike Postel on the tackle.
Now this is Sean Johnson, 1240 on the SAT, and he's known more for his defense. This is a guy that was the MVP of the state tournament last year as a junior, had 3 sacks and a touchdown in that game. And that time, Lenny Cusimano from Passaic Valley coming right after Drew on that play.
New Jersey calls timeout, and, well, hey, ACC did pretty well in this game as well.
They sure did.
Tobacco Road connection, as we like to call it.
Well, you know, and one of the guys who was going to be in this game, he was invited to play, is Kevin Cassis from Compsawag High School out on Long Island in Suffolk County. He's headed off to Duke next year as well, but he's the nation's top lacrosse player, and as of the taping of this game, he's down under in Australia playing with the U.S. national lacrosse team, taking on all-stars from Australia and around the world. And he's a guy from Compsawag High School, the only player to make all Long Island 3 years. No one's ever done it. You have guys like Jim Thorpe out there, Boomer Esiason, Vinny Testaverde. Only Kevin Cassis was named all Long Island 3 years during his varsity career.
Quite an accomplishment, and as you take a look at the rosters of these two teams, there are so many great accomplishments from these players, not only on the field, but in the classroom as well. A lot of these kids really excel.
Yeah, we have a lot of guys who in this game, National Honor Society members, rated in the top 5% of their class. And you can see it. There's Ivy Leagues, there's high academic institutions that's getting players from this game. They definitely put that dumb jock mentality to sleep in this All-Star game.
Third down, 16 for New York at the 43-yard line. Nadler flips it outside. Catch made by Scott White. Turns the corner and is nailed shy of the 40-yard line. Gets to about the 41 or so.
That's Richie Scanlon out of Bergen Catholic, number 34, doing a nice job on pursuit right there. He was New Jersey's Defensive Player of the Year. What a tremendous 3-year varsity career he had for Fred Stengel over at Bergen Catholic. Was a fullback who ran for 145 points this year, 154 points this year, second best in Bergen County behind Greg Toll. Just a football player. When he got, and he's actually from New York, so if you're into these New York coaches, like, man, it'd be great to get a guy like Scanlon. He's from Orangeburg, New York, but he commutes to Bergen Catholic, and next year he'll go and play for Syracuse. And that's a football player with the eye black that's running down your face. That's why Pasqualoni loves him. 6'2", 225, headed off to Syracuse. He'll play linebacker next year for the Orange.
The first-team All-State player and excellent fullback as well. Last year, I mean, he made some runs that were just unbelievable. Richie Scanlon runs over people when he carries the football. And defensively, I don't think you'd be hard to find a harder-hitting linebacker. In fact, his teammate Aaron Martin says Scanlon's simply the best linebacker he's ever seen.
Yeah, they've seen some good ones in that league. There's Buddy Krumenacker, legendary coach out of Long Island, one of the co-head coaches, defensive coordinator in this game. Started his coaching career in Hempstead, did so many great things there with the Tigers. Now he's at Farmingdale High School, coach guys like Rob Moore, who plays in the NFL now. When he was at Hempstead High School, just a great coach, gets everything he can out of his players. Big-time winner. Long Island's lucky to have him.
We need to bench.
So much for summer vacation. These guys are ready to go. Coach Krumenacker looks like he's ready to go. A couple slaps on the helmet, and off they go.
Here's the beef statistic. Here's the big boys. Bring it in.
Talked about some of the big players in this game. Well, there's some of the statistics, if you will.
283 across the front, average height 6'4". Kazarowski, Cantanella. He's the small guy at 6'3", 245.
All right, we have a punt, Dan. Actually, Jim Irwin with the kick, and he kicks it out of bounds. The question is, where did it go out of bounds? Right now, the official's standing at the 5. There's a look at some of the New York. Where's the beef? Here it is, 277 pounds, 10 guys.
Unfortunately, Penny's not playing in this game. Samaya hurt his knee in practice on Wednesday of this week. He's not playing. And Jesse Brush out of Sachem High School, just a tremendous story. Great student. Headed off to play for Harvard next year. 4.0 student, top percent of his class, president of the National Honor Society. This guy that has the whole thing working.
Excellent punt by Jim Irwin. A great coffin corner kick as he puts New Jersey back at the 5-yard line. New Jersey here in the second quarter, negative 19 yards total offense. This is a good run by Greg Toll as he spins across the 10-yard line and carries up to about the 14.
Again, Brian Mann turning Toll inside that time. Looked like Greg wanted to bounce it out, but Mann, number 48 out of Freeport High School, made him take it back inside. Good pickup on the play. New Jersey needed that. So far in the second quarter, they're at minus 19 yards. And here you see it looks like he wants to bounce it out, and then Mann forces it back inside, and then New York has help.
Again, Toll gets the carry and picking his hole, weaving his way across the 20 and up near the 25. So 2 consecutive fine runs by Greg Toll. It's enough for a first down.
So here's Toll coming in. Always has those feet going. 5'11", 200 pounds, strong upper body, good wheels. And he got New York out of the shadow of the end zone.
Here's a long pass downfield intended for Martin. Did he make the catch? Yes, he did. A spectacular catch by Aaron Martin between 3 defenders. Nicely thrown by Mike Walker.
Well, Aaron Martin, Lou, has that knack. He can make big catches. Sometimes he'll drop an easy one, but boy, if there's a hard catch, Aaron Martin will go up and get it. 6'6", 200 and change. But a nice job by Walker there, staying in the pocket, then got sandwiched on the release. A good-looking throw from the kid from Oakcrest High School, who'll play Division III next year for Powerhouse Rowan right in Glassboro, New Jersey. He's going to hang in there right till the end. Guys are bearing down on him. Man, of course, right in there, gets crushed, and Martin makes the play.
Greg Toll back to the action, carries the football down near the 30-yard line. 35 seconds and counting down here in the second quarter. New Jersey will take a timeout as they want to try to get some kind of points on the board before the end of the half.
Right now, Greg Toll has that little hop in his step that he had for 3 years for Ramapo High School. Little shifty, crafty, strong. Ed Stinson, and that's Mike Miello. That's his head coach from Ramapo High School. What a grade Greg Toll had last game of his junior year. They're playing Hoboken High School for the Section 1 Group 3 championship at Hoboken High School. About 9,000 people there. 253 yards and 2 touchdowns. Sensational in that game as Ramapo snapped Hoboken's 38-game win streak. It was the longest in the state at that point. And Greg Toll, sensational on that freezing cold afternoon at Hoboken High School.
There's a look at some of the crowd on hand. You know, there's a pretty good crowd here at Rutgers Stadium for this game.
Last year they had just under 8,000. I don't know if they got it this year. A year ago they played it on a Thursday night. I'd like to see them go back to that. I think you get more people to come out during the week, especially down here close to the shore. I know, Lou, you were thinking about making a run down to the shore and leaving it up to Golda or Cavallo to make the call of this game.
Greg Toll, 9 carries, 49 yards in the contest. Here's a trivia question for you. An NFL Hall of Fame running back, a 1999 Tony Award-winning actor, and a veteran New Jersey coach who won a Group 1 state championship in '98, played high school football against each other at Long Island, New York high schools in the 1950s. Who are they? We'll give you the answer a little bit later on. Second down. Walker looks to throw. He throws. End zone. It is caught. Touchdown. And a penalty marker on the play.
Well, Jamal Lord from Bayonne High School, simply one of the best athletes in the state of New Jersey, one of our Heisman guys. A little lazy this week in practice, I heard, but I guess he's one of those guys that likes to come up big in big games and doesn't like practice, just likes to make plays. They wave off the flag. So just like a year ago, long touchdown pass as late in the half. This year, it was New Jersey. Last year, New York. Walker, great job.
Touchdown is good.
Again, putting air under the ball, and Jamal Lord using all 6'3" of that frame, going up and getting it. Nebraska wanted him to play quarterback, great option quarterback, but he can play a lot of positions. One of the most talented football players on the field here today. He just has to stay focused all the time, and that time he did.
The last 2 receptions by New Jersey, big time. Aaron Martin and Jamal Lord, both catching their passes in traffic between multiple defenders.
That was a nice grab right there, and Walker put it right where it had to be. And you'll see Walker going to Division III college next year. The left-hander, 6'3", strong kid, squats just under 500 pounds, and well, you've seen it a couple of times. He'll stay in the pocket, steps up. Actually not great footwork, off balance when he throws the ball. But there's Lord. Great concentration. Gets up there. William Benjamin from Susan Wagner can't make the play. Lord about 6 inches taller than Benjamin. And here's Worker. Steps up. Kind of a little hop when he throws the ball. Good rotation. And here you see Lord. In between 2 guys. He'll come down with the football. Good concentration.
fully extended, no lobster arms there, and pulls it in with contact. Touchdown, New Jersey.
So Jersey on the board. It's 15-6. And with the timeout, they will line up for the extra point. Just 28 seconds remaining here in the first half of the second annual Governor's Bowl.
You know, Lord's a guy, Lou, that makes big plays in big spots. They're playing St. Peter's Prep out of Jersey City this year. It's 10-7, about 6 minutes left in the game. Bayonne High School's losing. The final score 29-10. Bayonne. Lord scores 3 touchdowns in the final 5:50 and picks off a pass late in the game. Just a talented player. Was a wide receiver as a sophomore. Played quarterback the last 2 years for the Bees and Coach John Ricard. And brought some of those, dusted off some of those old receiver skills to pull in the touchdown.
They will line up for 2, will New Jersey. Mike Forkham rolling out, throws, it's picked off, and then running down the sidelines and finally out of bounds for New York was number 45, William Benjamin. So the 2-point conversion try is unsuccessful, and it is 15-6.
Well, Benjamin said, you got me once on the touchdown. You're not going to get me on the 2-point conversion. Not a strong throw that time by Forkham. And Benjamin steps in front to turn away the 2-point conversion attempt.
Well, New Jersey shows some life on offense. That was a nice drive, very nicely conceived and also nicely executed. They've got to feel good about themselves now going into the locker room.
I would think so, because they're standing in the shadow of their end zones, and Greg Toll got it started with a couple of nice runs to get it out there so Walker could make some passes. And again, he stays in the pocket nice on the long one to Martin, and then he makes the throw to Lord for the touchdown.
Let's go down to Jimmy Cavallo, who's roaming the New Jersey sidelines. Jimmy.
Hey, Mike and Lou, you know the New Jersey sidelines, man, we needed a play over here. Jamal Lord out of Bayonne High School. Take us back through, man. Going up in traffic just like all the big-time receivers do. You brought it down.
It ain't nothing. It's like a rebound. You just go up there and get it. That's all. That's all.
Jamal, the offense really stalling here first half of this game. Negative yards in the second quarter. What's been kind of the feeling? You guys were very fired up before this game. Just could not seem to get on track.
That option broke our back. That option when the guy went down the sideline, that broke our back, and the offense has got to step up now. And these guys stop them once, and we score again. That's how easy it is.
Next step, college football, Nebraska. Your thoughts, man? Nebraska, that's big-time stuff.
Yeah, it is. But I can do the job. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's easy. It's easy.
A picture of confidence is Jamal Lord. Gets New Jersey on the board. Mike and Lou, take it away.
All right, Jimmy. Jamal Lord with the quote of the day. It's easy.
I think he'll find out in about a month or two that Nebraska's not easy, boy. When he starts running down there, he'll find out, boy, they better not get a hold of this tape because they may hold that against him. But he's like, hey, he's a 3-year varsity starter in basketball, so only in a football game do you get a basketball guy talking about catching a touchdown pass and saying it's like getting a rebound in basketball.
You're right. The tape of this game better not make it to the rest of the Big 12. All right. Here's a first down and 10 for New York at the 25-yard line. New quarterback in there for New York.
Sean Martin out of Canarsie High School.
Pulls it down, 25, 30, spun out of bounds. Shane Smith on the tackle.
Well, you know, here's Joe Sipp III. Last week he's coaching in the Boomer Esiason All-Star game, Long Island versus New York City. There's 3 minutes left in the game. Sean Martin's the quarterback for New York. New York's losing 12-10. He throws a 43-yard bomb from his own 5-yard line to Curtis Gilliam. So Sipp says, you know what, hey, it worked against me last week. Let's make it work against somebody now. So he's not sitting on it. He wants to put something in the end zone with 15 seconds left.
It's a second down and about 4 for New York. They have a 15-6 lead. Setting up a screen, it's intercepted. Picked off and run in for the touchdown by Sean Price. That'll change the complexion of the game.
You know, it kind of reminds you of the Super Bowl when Theismann against the Raiders went back to pass deep in his own territory, and it kind of just came apart for Washington that day. You're talking about a guy 6'1", 220 pounds with 10.6 speed in the 100. You know, once he puts his big paws on that, he's going to the end zone.
Ohio State getting a pretty good-looking player, 6'1", 220 pounds. Sean, Price is right there.
So with 7 seconds left in the first half, New Jersey strikes with a big play, and now they have the momentum going into the locker room. They'll still trail in the game, but boy, that really changes things around.
So once again, Sean Martin hurting Coach Sip.
Doug Kirchner is in to kick the extra point. First team All-State kicker. His kick is up, and it is good. 3 seconds officially on the clock here in the first half, and here is your interception touchdown.
Well, they're just trying to get it out in the flat, and Martin, when he lets this go, he's probably trying to pull it back in because Price just slides out there, ill-conceived. I think with 15 seconds, if you're going to throw the football, throw it down the field. Don't put it out there in the flat. Too many things can happen on this level. This is a quarterback that just came in. That first time right before there, he was looking to rip it deep. That time, you catch the ball, you're still going to have to go through 8 or 9 guys to get to the end zone, and this thing just, boy, in a matter of seconds is turned.
Jimmy Cavallo has our touchdown maker.
Well, guys, nothing better for a guy in the secondary than to see it coming. That's just what Sean Price did. Sean, take us back through the touchdown, has New Jersey right back in this ball game.
I seen the option. I seen the screen come up, so I just read it. He threw the ball, I just ran to it, intercepted and took it to the house. That's it. I just want to win. That's all I want to do is win today.
We know about all the speed you could bring to the table, talking about moving on to Ohio State, playing for Coach Cooper. I mean, I know you watched them on national TV all year long. Next year, 100,000 people. Wow.
I always want to play for Ohio State. They got nice run, nice defensive backs. Gary Barry, I always want to be a part of that team. I always want to play outside linebacker because I know I got the 4.3 speed. I'm fast. I can catch. I always want to play for Ohio State. They're a good team. They're a good football team. I want to go to the best. I want to play for the best.
Congratulations, Sean.
Thank you.
All right, there's the man of the hour right now. Gentlemen, back upstairs.
All right, New Jersey kicks off. New York runs back across the 25, and only 1 second ticked off the clock on that play. Okay, so New York gets the ball.
You know, that's a kid, Sean Price, 6'1", 220 pounds. He's going to put a lot of weight on that frame. Watch him get up to about 245, 250, play the outside linebacker position for the Buckeyes.
So New York will get a play with 27. They're at the 27-yard line. 2 seconds left here in the first half.
Take a knee.
It'll be interesting to see how they approach this.
They are not throwing it in the flat, I'll tell you that. There's no way they're throwing it in the flat.
It is 15-13. I think the wise thing would be to take a knee, but
Martin is the quarterback. That's a pretty complicated play call if they're taking a knee. A lot of talking going on in there.
They have receivers split to the right. They're not taking a knee. Martin's looking to throw, and he gets away at the 25 to the 30, 35, and he's crushed at the 37-yard line, and that will end the first half. So a very interesting first half of play in the second annual Governor's Bowl. A lot of fireworks, and they all came pretty late. New York with a 15-13 lead. Mike Quick, that was a very entertaining first half.
Yeah, last couple minutes, pretty interesting. It's a New York lead, but you almost feel New Jersey's winning right now.
All right, let's go down to the sidelines. I believe Gene Golda has the New York coach. Gene.
Lou, what a turn of events. Less than 2 minutes ago, New York up 15-0. Then the long drive and the touchdown pass to Jamal Lord and the interception return. It certainly has to deflate the ego on your side. What do you tell them in the locker room?
We've got 2 more quarters of football. You know, I mean, we're ahead at the game right now. Yeah, you know, they made a great catch in the end zone, and you know, the guy shouldn't have thrown it when he saw the guy jumping on the screen. But you know, we're dealing with kids. You know, they're 17-year-old kids, and you know, we'll just play the game from here. That's all.
Eric Hackowitz was certainly making things happen in that second quarter. Do you go back with him in the third quarter?
Yeah, well, we're trying to play everybody. You know, it's a tough situation, but yeah, Eric got some more playing time. He did a great job for us.
Well, good luck in the second half. Lou, Mike, back to you.
All right, Gene, and New York clinging to a 15-13 lead as we go towards the second half. All right, the first half is in the books in the second annual Governor's Bowl here at Rutgers Stadium. Again, the score, it is New York 15, New Jersey 13. Back with halftime activity and, of course, second half action in just a moment.
I woke up on Sunday morning and I had a pain in my chest. I went through all kinds of tests and they told me then that I had a heart attack. I'm the first person east of the Mississippi to have a 7 bypass surgery without a heart-lung machine. Beth Israel was the best hospital. It's like a miracle.
At the St. Barnabas Healthcare System, we believe in miracles.
Having fun yet? Get to the Wiz Summer of Fun. Buy all the fun stuff you want and get more fun stuff. Free with select purchases.
How much for the room?
The fun is back. Only at the Wiz.
We're born inside 4 walls. We go to school inside 4 walls. We work inside 4 walls. Out here, there are no walls. But there are plenty of sharp corners. Yamaha, solid thinking for a liquid world.
Stumpy, the Yamaha Giant, Route 35, Neptune.
If there's one thing we love in New Jersey, it's choice. From beefsteaks to beachfronts, we've got more choices than a Jersey diner. And soon we'll have another choice, New Jersey Energy Choice. You get to choose who you buy your electricity and gas from.
With at least 5% savings right off the bat and at least 10% more over the next 3 years.
So look for the brochure in the mail. New Jersey Energy Choice. More power to you.
Welcome back to Rutgers Stadium, where New York leads New Jersey by the score of 15-13 in the 1999 Governor's Bowl All-Star Football Classic. Lou Brogno, along with Mike Quick and Gene Golda and Jimmy Cavallo down on the sidelines. There is the push-up contest at halftime, sponsored by the U.S. Army. Better them than me is all I have to say, Mike.
I didn't see Cavallo and Golda down there either. Those guys are running.
Look at this young guy. He's really struggling. Tell us a little bit about your impressions of the first half. What sticks out most for you?
I think really, when you look at the first half, you look how New Jersey's offensive line was just manhandled. They could do nothing. Greg Toll got a little bit going late in the first half to get that long touchdown pass started, but they just got blown apart. Brian Mann running havoc, Zielinski blasting through there. They can't keep New York out of the backfield, and that really shut New Jersey down. Up until that last long drive, they were minus 19 yards in the second quarter. So I think right now that those coaches in there are probably jumping those offensive linemen big.
And when we come back before the start of the third quarter, we'll hear what exactly is going on in that locker room, and that should be quite interesting. Again, we're at the half. The score is New York 15, New Jersey 13. You're watching the second annual Governor's Bowl.
Go to the beach without getting sand in your shorts with New Jersey Online's beach cams. Check them out at nj.com.
If there's one thing we love in New Jersey, it's choice. From beefsteaks to beachfronts, we've got more choices than a Jersey diner. And soon we'll have another choice, New Jersey Energy Choice. You get to choose who you buy your electricity and gas from.
With at least 5% savings right off the bat and at least 10% more over the next 3 years.
So look for the brochure in the mail. New Jersey Energy Choice. More power to you.
Hey, that's a nice car. Where can I get a car like that? You're Stan from Lester Glen. You're everywhere.
Oh, hi. Why don't you follow me to Lester Glen? You know, we're Toms River's hometown Subaru dealer. I can get you the deal of a lifetime on a new Subaru from Lester Glen. Come on, follow me.
Lisa 99 Subaru Forester for only $245 per month for 48 months at Lester Glen.
I want you to come to Toms River's hometown Subaru dealer and get the deal of a lifetime and the Lester Glen experience.
Welcome back to Rutgers Stadium. At the half, New York leads New Jersey 15-13. Lou Brogno along with Mike Quick and Gene Golda and Jimmy Cavallo down on the sidelines. Before we went out to break, we did promise that we would check in the locker room to see what kind of things were being said at halftime in the New Jersey locker room. They are the team that's trailing 15-13. Let's have a listen.
You got a guy out here coming? Yeah. But somebody's lying to him. Oh, no, some guys are holding up. They're like 3 on 1 time. Yeah. No, one guy's like, sometimes my guy will fakely. This guy's coming. Okay. I got it now. All right, fine. Now, this is what we got. Who's this guy again? All right. I want you to come back here. Behind these guys. No, go back. We sometimes have a guy up and I'll be rushing. Right now, this guy's killing. Then we're going to block it this way. This guy's free every time. This guy's free. I got it. Those guys are out there is fine. That's not the problem. If the problem is, this guy's coming. We're not getting anybody on him. Somebody's coming out the middle. This guy's here. No. It's got to be like in the back right here. And sometimes he won't go, or sometimes he won't, but if he's switching it up, so we don't know what's coming. Okay, but we got to block 3. We can only block 3, correct? This definitely going to come to you. Okay, so.
Mike Quick, relatively calm and collected in the halftime locker room, but looks like they're trying to make some adjustments to stop some players from shooting the gap up the middle.
Well, what Vic Caboo from Manasquan High School, who heads the offensive lineman for New Jersey, was talking about right there is they can't get a hat on Brian Mann from Fairport High School. They've got to contain him. He's lived in the backfield the whole first half.
All right, Jimmy Cavallo's on the New Jersey sideline. Jimmy?
Hey, Lou, I'm standing by with another one of the many New Jersey field generals. I can call you general, right? Ed Stinson of Hoboken High School. And, Coach, I tell you, the New Jersey fans, they were getting a little unruly there towards the end of the second quarter. They wanted to see some action, some late heroics. And you guys going to that halftime only down 2?
Yeah, well, no doubt our kid made a hell of a play reading the screen pass, intercepted, and then took it in the end zone.
Is this one of those situations, short practice week, where the defense is ahead of the offense? This game has really come down to 4 big plays that we've seen up on the scoreboard.
Yeah, the defense is ahead of the offense, and that's why the nature of the game is such that they dictate to the defense how they must align, because the offense takes time. Although you practice 3 times a day, you know, you still don't have enough time, and even in the cramming, you wind up with fatigue of legs if you try to do too much.
What can you do with this New Jersey offensive line? New York's defensive line seems to have gotten a good push at the point of attack there. Can you make adjustments when you have guys, no real chemistry, just kind of meeting each other this week on the playing field?
Well, I think there was a combination of things. It may appear as though the line made all of the mistakes, and I don't think that's true. I think a couple of times, you know, the people in the backfield were to blame for some things that happened.
Hoboken's Ed Stinson, very proud of his young man Mike Forkum, named one of the captains this week of the New Jersey squad. Mike and Lou, back up to you.
All right, Jim, our score at the half, New York 15, New Jersey 13. Back with the second half kickoff in just a moment.
The Center for Orthopedics and Sports Medicine proudly serves as the official team physicians for the Governor's Bowl in support of the March of Dimes. Providing optimal orthopedic care with today's most advanced techniques, our board-certified fellowship-trained physicians care for patients of all ages. Let the Center for Orthopedics and Sports Medicine get you back in the game. Call 732-505-8844. Doctors Fox and Dollycar are members of the medical staff of Community Medical Center, an affiliate of the St. Barnabas Healthcare System, a proud sponsor of this year's Governor's Bowl.
That takes me back, and everybody loves it 'cause it's Cozy Shack. Well, better than homemade, see for yourself. Everyone's buying it, so help yourself. And if it's sold out, yell, hey Jack, get Cozy Shack. I need some Cozy Shack.
And back at Rutgers Stadium, where New Jersey will kick off to New York, left to right on your screen as we begin the second half. An entertaining first half of football. New York leading New Jersey 15-13. All the points scored in the second quarter.
Willie Poole and Sharon Edwards. Poole from Christ the King, Edwards from Longwood. Back to return the kickoff.
Poole, of course, with the long touchdown reception. That's the difference right now.
It's a high end-over-end kick from Kirchner, and it comes back to Poole at the 20, 25, knocked down there, and a penalty flag is down at the 27-yard line. Looks like the call will go against New York. It is holding against the New York squad, so that will back them up. Here's a look at the first half statistics. First downs, relatively even. New Jersey with a few more. Rushing, most of that rushing yardage came on one play by Hatkowitz. He had an 80-yard run out of the 115. Neither team really able to move the ball through the air.
Scoring the return, 10 yards, first down.
New Jersey did much better towards the tail end of the first half. Total yards relatively even. Only one turnover, which is surprising, and New Jersey was hurt by penalties, 6 for 37 yards.
Well, one of those turnovers, though, that wasn't listed there, it turned into a safety, and those are the 2-point difference right there when Toll put it on the grass and it rolled off the back of the end zone, and right now those 2 points are the difference, and that's why New York is up by 2.
First and 10 for New York at the 15-yard line, and running the football is Hatkowitz, and he picks up some good yardage across the 20-yard line. Hatkowitz scored in the first half on an 80-yard touchdown run. And that was the first big play of the game. The Governor's Bowl is brought to you by Reliastar. Reliastar retirement plans where saving your future is a matter of choice. Furman Sales, a disciplined approach to investing. U.S. Army, the all-you-can-be. Call 1-800-ARMY. SportsCapsule.com, enriching youth sports. Chase Bank, the right relationship is everything. And Rittenhouse. Second down play, Hatkowitz hit and dropped at the 24-yard line. And the Governor's Bowl also brought to you by Cozy Shack Puddings. Cozy Shack, it takes you back. All natural, better than homemade pudding. For the delicious taste of yesterday, Cozy Shack Puddings. New Jersey Online. Go to New Jersey Online at www.nj.com for New Jersey high school sports scores and schedules. Talk about the latest game in our sports forum and keep up to date with our varsity newsletter. Outback Steakhouse. Outback Steakhouse, no rules, just right. Visit your nearest Outback Steakhouse. St. Barnabas Healthcare System. St. Barnabas Healthcare System, New Jersey's healthcare leader. Champion Mortgage. Champion Mortgage, when your bank says no, Champion says yes. Handoff goes up the middle, not much yardage. And the other sponsor, Payne Weber. Thank you, Payne Weber.
Jamel Dumas from Roselle High School in there on the play, headed off to Syracuse next year. Again, Pasqualoni and his Orange Man coaching staff got 9 players participating in this game. Just another great job by the guys up there at Syracuse, coming in and getting New York and New Jersey talent.
Fourth down, and New York kicks it away. Jim Irwin with the kick. It bounces across the 45 and is down at the 43-yard line. So New Jersey will put it in play there. The other scoring in the first half, we mentioned Hatkowitz on an 80-yard run. The safety, which Mike Quick alluded to just moments ago, made it 8-0. Poole, a 49-yard pass from Hatkowitz. That made it 15-0, but then the tide turned. New Jersey started to come back. Lord on a 30-yard touchdown reception from Walker, and Price the 23-yard interception return to make it 15-13. That's where we are with 12:43 remaining third quarter. Receiver split left and right. Handoff goes up the middle to Minkins. Josh Minkins carries the football. And he picks up about 5 on the play. Maybe more.
He's worked with a lot of them, Lou. Pat St. Pierre, one of the best kicking coaches you'll find around. Over there working with Kennedy on the sidelines. Helps out a lot of kids with the art of kicking and punting the football.
Second down and 4, ball just shy of the 50. Minkins this time hit behind the line of scrimmage and dropped. No gain on the play. That'll bring up a third down.
Well, you know, when we went inside the locker room at the half, one of the things Coach Vic Caboo was talking about was putting a hat on number 48, Brian Mann from Fairport High School. Once again, shoots off the outside, comes in, submarines, gets low, and makes another play. He's been impressive, Brian Mann. Maine getting a steal. The 6'2 senior.
3rd down and 4. Ball sits at the 49-yard line of New Jersey. Minkins the carry, hit, and then just drilled behind the line of scrimmage. Good penetration for the New York squad. First man in there, Joe Traxler. Actually, that's the New Jersey squad. 54 is Micah Kimball.
He's the one, Lou, that got Greg Cole in the end zone to force the safety. He does a great job. Just get right in Chris Kojak's head from North Bergen. Just pushes big 72, 6'5", 290 right into the backfield and makes the play.
Punt formation for New Jersey. High end-over-end kick by Scott Kennedy. Bounces inside the 10-yard line and inside the 5, all the way down to the 3. So New York has horrendous field position to start this drive.
Great job by Kennedy. You saw St. Pierre working with him on the sidelines. He must have talked about rotation, and then he blasted one and pins New York deep. Had a wind at his back, a pretty good wind, Lou. Kind of been going all game, but that was directly at his back, and he took advantage of it.
49-yard punt. Kicking game has been impressive in this game.
Both teams.
New York with a 1st down and 10 at their own 3-yard line. Shadow of their own goalpost. Hatkowitz has logged a lot of time at quarterback in this game. Back to throw, over the middle. Catch made, and then piled up at the 15-yard line. That's a nice reception on 1st down.
Gary Carruthers out of Sachem High School from out there in Suffolk County. Yet another young man who will play for the Bison of Bucknell. That's confidence in your quarterback. Little play action on 1st down, deep in your own territory. Hey, if you're going to throw it on 1st down. Because no one's thinking it's coming there. And it's a good job by Hatkowitz. A little fake inside, then just a little 2-step drop. And that's Longwood to Sachem. Arch rivals out there on Suffolk County. They don't like each other a lot out there, but there they do.
Something in their wildest dreams they never thought they'd see, right? On the 1st down play, a pickup of 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Ball sits at the 19-yard line.
Hatkowitz at 97 yards rushing in the 1st half. Of course, Lou, you alluded to the big yards, the 80-yard touchdown run when he looked like a linebacker just breaking through the line of scrimmage, getting some good blocks. And now Coach Mike Miele from Ramapo, the head coach for this team, telling Mike Forkham, okay, man, we got a good thing going. Now let's keep it going when you get out there. Now they have to stop the other number 12, Hatkowitz.
Hatkowitz running some option, turns it in, and gets across the 25-yard line. Eric Hatkowitz doing it on all fronts, passing and running the football.
Good job keeping it that time, sneaking back inside the contain, and picks up the yardage. So Hatkowitz, the little pass to get it started, and then picks up the 1st down with his legs.
Man on that tackle, Chuck Hamright, was heading to Kentucky. This guy was recruited by Kansas State, Rutgers, Pitt, and Miami. So just an impressive list. 1st down and 10. Again, some option. This time Hatkowitz will not pick up positive yardage. Len Cusimano on the tackle for New Jersey.
6'3", 225 pounds, National Honor Society. Plays for head coach Chet Parlavecchio, and Chet played, of course, great linebacker for Penn State, went on to play in the NFL, and Parlavecchio says that Cusimano has the ability to play in the NFL someday.
Cusimano out of Passaic Valley will be heading to Syracuse. Another guy that has an impressive list of schools who wanted him. How about UCLA, Ohio State, Boston College, and Notre Dame?
You know where New Jersey is, and there you see some of the Syracuse guys.
Mark, get the ball! Hatkowitz looking to throw, and he's in trouble. Lets it fly, completes the pass. Giuliano makes the catch.
Byron Brown from Overbrook High School going to Wisconsin next year. Just 3 years ago, a young man made that same trip. Ron Dane from Overbrook High School out to Wisconsin, and he's done some spectacular things. But it all gets started with the pressure from Terrence Glover out of Hamilton West. Flies right up the middle. Times it well because you can't blitz in this game, and he was coming. Maybe cheated a little bit there, I think, if they take a look at that one. And then there you see Brown with the good hit on Fred Ruliano. And what a career Fred Ruliano had. 4-year starter for Delaware Valley. 6,623 career rushing yards for the Class D school.
Hatkowitz keeps and is nailed, dropped at the 30-yard line. And it will be 4th down, so New York will have to kick. Ruliano had a great quote. We had some of these worksheets that we gave to the kids to see just what was on their mind. You know, he said his nickname is Fatty, which is hard to imagine because the kid's like a rock now. He said when he was younger, he was like a meatball. Here's a high kick. And it's taken at the 25-yard line. Byron Brown nailed there. So New Jersey will put it at play. 6:56 remaining, third quarter in the 1999 Governor's Bowl. It's New York 15 and New Jersey 13.
She was like the diamond dead. She was jewelry like the diamond dead. The selection and the prices will bring you back again and again. She does fashion jewelry like the diamond dead. She does fashion jewelry like the diamond dead.
Hey, that's a nice car. Where can I get a car like that? You're Stan from Lester Glen. You're everywhere.
Oh, hi. Why don't you follow me to Lester Glen? You know, we're Tom's River's hometown Subaru dealer. I can get you the deal of a lifetime on a new Subaru from Lester Glen. Come on, follow me.
Lisa 99 Subaru Forester for only $245 per month for 48 months at Lester Glen.
I want you to come to Tom's River's hometown Subaru dealer and get the deal of a lifetime and the Lester Glen experience.
New York leading New Jersey by the score of 15-13. And there is Governor Christine Whitman, who is in attendance here tonight for this Governor's Bowl football game.
Lou Versillo, the Lacey High School coach, right behind her. Put on a tie for this one, trying to get a little air time, following the governor around. I wonder if Lou's in there trying to get an autograph. I'll tell you, someday some of these guys will be signing some autographs. We've got some pretty big-time players in this football game. Whitman will be looking for their autograph at the end of this game.
Well, the governor's signing some autographs. Looks like she's enjoying herself tonight. Mike Forkum back to throw. Lets it fly, and wide open is Hobbs at the 30, the 25, and down at the 20-yard line. Josh Hobbs out of Somerville and on his way to Rutgers.
Well, Curtis Gilliam from Lehman High School got caught up in something there. He looked like he wanted to step up, thinking Forkum, some 40 yards away, was going to run the football. Got turned around, and Hobbs just got behind him. Curtis, who is going to Nassau Community College next year, says he loves to play defense. And here you see Forkum rolling out. They're rolling the pocket out. Zielinski almost gets to him, and then you'll see Gilliam kind of turned around. He looked like he was going to come up and play run support, and there's Josh Hobbs for the big gain for New Jersey.
1st and 10, Jersey at the New York 19-yard line. Handoff goes outside. Here's Greg Toll at the 10, the 5, and in! Touchdown, New Jersey!
Well, I'll tell you right now, Greg Toll got the touchdown, but give it to Josh Hobbs. He was downfield. He came back. He laid a hop that got Greg Toll into the end zone, but that's what he does when Greg gets the outside, gets those legs going, gets that little upper body turned to the side. When he's got it turned, you know he's heading to the end zone. Picked up a step this summer, has been working real hard. But what a job by Josh Hobbs. Somerville High School head coach Kevin Carty taught him well to catch the ball and then come back and look for people to hit when you got buddies going to the end zone.
You know, Hobbs Hobbs, a great athlete, 63 receptions last year in football. In basketball, he averaged nearly 21 points a game for Somerville High School. Here's a guy that wants to get into broadcasting. Says he likes to talk. He's not shy.
No, he's not shy. He obviously right there. He loves to be around people because he put the hat on him right there. Hey, if he hits like that, he'd come up here and take this. I'm not looking for any of that contact. Just give him Cavallo's job down there.
First down, and actually it's not first down. It's a two-point conversion. Here is Forkham trying to get in, and he does not. That's the second time the two-point conversion has failed tonight. So New Jersey has a 19-15 lead.
Well, here's Greg Toll, the state's leading scorer from this past season, 224 points, one of our Heisman High School All-Stars. Takes the handoff and bounces it to the outside, getting in there behind Fiddler, who he said he loves to run behind. There you see some of the blocking up front. Once he gets that body turn, see how he has it on a little bit of an angle? That means he's feeling it, and he's smelling the end zone right here. And hopefully we're going to be able to catch Josh Hobbs. Peel back and just put a shot on Brian Clark out of Albertus Magnus. You will definitely see it here. The up top look. Josh Hobbs is downfield blocking, then he pulls it back, and he goes looking for somebody to hit. And he finds number 20, Brian Clark. And take a look. See you, Mr. Clark. Hello, end zone. Greg Toll getting in. The state's leading scorer this year, 224 points for his career. Just an unbelievable football player. 584 career points. Second best ever in the state of New Jersey. Only behind Kevin Harvey from Paulsboro High School, 656.
Well, Jimmy Cavallo is on the sidelines. Let's go to Jimmy.
Hey, Lou, the pride of the Pioneers is right here, Josh Hobbs. And Josh, game like this, all-star game, you want to show yourself multi-dimensional. First the big catch, then the big block. You're getting into it now.
Yeah, first half a little slow. I was used more as a decoy, but we were setting it up for the second half, and we scored and trying to score some more now.
You talk about this game, Josh. You guys came out a little slow. Halftime, you got a couple points on the board. And talk about the big play, the reception. You got behind the defense.
Yeah, it was. We were setting it up the whole first half, and it was the first play out. And we kept their safeties. We saw them kept cheating up, so we decided to go behind them, and I was open.
How's this feel right for you, Josh? Right now, you're going to play right here at Rutgers Stadium. You made a nice block right at there. How's it feel to be out there? A little foreshadowing going on for you?
Yeah, it feels good. It was great.
All right, heading off to this play for the Scarlet Knights. Josh Hobbs, gentlemen, back to you.
All right, Jimmy, it is a first down and 10 for New York at the 24-yard line. Hatkowitz still in there, breaks a tackle. He was one step away. He almost got loose at the 30-yard line.
He does a good job of keeping things right at the end. And then Jim Bloodworth. Now, that's the name a defensive football player should have. Bloodworth, just out there, played on a 2-8 Warren Hills team going to Illinois next year. That's like Mike Stonebreaker, the linebacker from Notre Dame a few years ago. There are just some names that you love to hear on the defensive side. Bloodworth is one of those names.
You know, he picked Illinois because he wants to go there for engineering. He wants to design cars, Mike. There you go. Something different.
He won't need a lift to get him up there. He can just throw him up himself.
Here's a second down and 3. Hatkowitz throws. It is intercepted. Picked off at the 45-yard line.
That's the president, Darrell Kennedy, out of Plainfield High School, one of our Heisman High School All-Stars. Lou, this is a guy that is a football player. Some of the positions he played this year: quarterback, tight end, running back, split end, kicker, punter, free safety, and he returned punts for head coach Clinton Jones out of Plainfield High School. What a year the Cardinals had this year, finally falling in the last game of the season at Giant Stadium, 7-6 to Roxbury. But here's Hatkowitz out on the roll, has a little time, looks for a receiver, but Darrell Kennedy does what all great defensive backs do. He got a great break on the football, and there you can see